and the indication of the window on my trailer. Alright, so that is kind of a review. Again, if I want to, I can go back. I'm in perspective view now, so I can really see how that relationship looks. What I would do next is see, again, go through the same thing, get this square, bring that square down, this window, and so on back along the line. Now, some of you who are working with the more modern trailers, you don't have square windows. You have rounded windows. So just quickly to go through a process for that, I want to go back to Camera, and I want to be back view, camera again, because I need to make sure I'm on parallel projection, remember, to do this. And let's say we're going to do this window with the more modern rounded type windows for an explanation. I have my arrow, select arrow on the window. I'm going to bring it in, use my square or rectangular tool, and place it to get my size for my window. There we go. Okay, roll back out, and remember what I did at this point is I rotated to pull my box out into the shape, like so. I'm going to hit the P key for my pull tool to pull this out to make my box. Alright, and then I'm going to go back to Camera, back view. That's what I'm working. Roll in here. And now I'm going to use the arc tool to come back. And again, I don't have a rounded window back here to use as a guide, so I'm just going to put in my arcs. And remember that when you draw this, if that line turns that magenta or red color, it means this is exactly a 45-degree angle. Click and move along till the line for the window again. See, I've got to keep it on this edge, otherwise it can go crazy places. So keep my pointer on the edge and pull it over till I see the magenta arc and click it. Now, to keep the arcs the same size, if I come down to one corner, make sure you get the corner. Best way to do that is see start here and slide up till you first get the first green mark. Let it sit there for a moment. I'm going to come in a little closer so you can see. Let it sit there for a moment. Then if I pull this across, when I get over here to the right place, see, I'll get that dotted line that runs across the drawing, which tells me that this is going to be the same size. And then see, draw my arc, put that in. Let it sit here for a moment. Come down. There's my dotted line. Okay, again, come down, let it sit for a moment. Come across. And I have my curves. Now again, I'm going to use my scroll key, push it down, turn this sideways. And then if I highlight this little spot on each one, I can use my push-pull tool. Oh, didn't go far enough. There we go. Push, and I'm just pulling it back. Up. Little error there. Sorry about that, folks. Got to make sure I get just the spot. There we go. Okay, so now we have our rounded window box. And if I go through the same process as I went before, then I will have a window in my trailer with the rounded edges. Now, what you may have to do if you're doing that, you see if I highlight this and I get the entire thing as one rounded shape, it should, when I do right click, intersect, cut the space. But if you come back and it doesn't seem to want to cut it properly, again go up to View, Hidden, and then you'd have to move in and select each one of these independently and do the right click, intersect with model, and go through all of those. But first try without the hidden, because many times if you have the hidden lines gone, this whole thing will make the proper cut and put your window in. Now I'm going to go up to View, Camera, Perspective, come in just so you can see that I have the window cut, and I'm ready, and I just continue through the process to get all the windows in the different views cut through the trailer. Alright, so that's how to place windows. The door on the other side would be the same way. I'd use the curbside view of the trailer, and I'd put the curbside view over on the back side, go through the same process. Alright, trace the door, make my pattern, pull it out, and go from there. Alright, so that's the next step for those of you who are far enough along to really start looking at cutting the windows into your shell. And part of the reason we're going to spend time doing that, when you start creating your furniture inside and moving your furniture around, where the windows are may determine where a piece of furniture goes. You don't want a piece of furniture cutting right through the center of the window. That won't work. I have not talked about plumbing and plumbing location at all so far in our trailer designs. And just as a pointer at this point, if you know where your bathroom and sinks were originally, the easiest thing as far as plumbing is make sure you keep them in the same place. Alright? Because then you know where the plumbing should go. If you really want to start moving things around and put them in different places, there are several other considerations that we have to deal with. I think I mentioned it once before. Like, for instance, if you had happened to put your bathroom up near the front, you will have to run your sewer drain out the side in the front. You can't run it all the way to the back under the trailer and out, because there isn't enough space between the axle and the bottom of the trailer. And at some time you'd probably end up breaking that pipe and causing yourself quite a problem. Like with the sink here, generally what happens if this is the case, this pipe for the sink will run inside the cabinets on the floor till it gets back behind the area where the axle is, and then it will drop down into a holding tank. And there's a number of things that have been done with the different trailers. That's a whole other research area that we'll cover much later as we're working with our design. Alright, so that's the process of cutting windows into a trailer. And just as a finalization, the reason we have to go through this process is SketchUp, in its original way that it has for cutting windows, only works with a single wall thickness, because it's designed for architectural drawing. And in architectural drawing, they want just a view of a wall without the double thickness of the wall. In our trailers, we're really important to have the double thickness, so our process for creating windows is much more involved. Alright, hope you enjoy that. You might want to review this section several times to get solid, because it is a pretty complex section of lots of steps before you actually try it. Good luck, and if you have problems, please send your questions to me at airstreamsketchup@google.com. Okay, I have that listed several places in the other lessons, and I have it right below this lesson. If you look, it has my email for this sections of drawing. Send your questions, your problems. You can also, when you do that, attach a copy of the drawing you're working on, so that I can actually look at your drawing and see maybe where the problem is, and then answer your questions specifically. Okay, hope you've been enjoying the lessons. Hope your trailer's coming along and your design is working in the way that you want.